what makes brands successful is being run well. Like a good business model is what scales an ad account. An ad account is not what scales a business. And I think if you begin to look at it like that, then you start to focus on like, how can I make the fewest amount of changes to have the greatest amount of stability in the front end of my business? So I have the greatest confidence on the things that I'm doing to improve my business model. If you're testing a bunch of ads, if you're testing a bunch of offers, if you're testing a bunch of audiences, what you're really doing is saying, let me see if I change the type of attention I buy on a dramatically consistent basis. So it's wildly unstable and completely unpredictable, and see if that works out well for me. And honestly, like investing in wildly unstable and unproven things that depreciate over time is not the path to making money. Path to making money is figure out something that works and then amplify it. And the reason you run Facebook ads is because you found something that works and you're amplifying it. If you don't know what works, fix that before you run your Facebook ads. And I think at least 20-30% of brands that I see fail on Facebook fail because they ran Facebook ads before they understood how to make money. And that is the kiss of death. Like if you don't know how you make money, then don't run ads. Like my best piece of advice to that is take some of your revenue and some of your profits and invest that into ads to amplify however you got that revenue and profits. But you can't skip the revenue and profits part and just expect things to work out. Odds are you're going to fail miserably. And to be fair, it's kind of your fault. So my hope is that people feel way more confident when they start to run ads because they know this is the one thing I need to run my ads to. This is how much I can afford to spend. If you don't know those numbers, then don't start spending money because you will lose it.
I remember you saying, I think you told me once, if you're a brand that only relies on Facebook ads, then you should reconsider your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Like
feel
if
like there's so many brands in that situation that, and maybe even watching this at this moment where they might be realizing, oh shit, I only run Facebook ads. That's my only method of traffic. I'm in deep shit right now, right?
yeah. I mean, the simple truth is like if you need your Facebook ads to work for your business to be successful, what you have is a bad business. Bottom line. Like the success rate of I rely purely on Facebook ads to make money is infinitesimal. Like if you can't make money, don't run ads because all you're doing is you're amplifying your failure by running ads to something that doesn't work. And paying extra money to lose money faster and amplify your failures is not a path to being successful.
100%. I think that the majority of these brands, the reason why they're in that position is because they started out that way and they got
Yeah.
a little bit of money that way. And the problem is that in order to build this system that we're talking about, it takes a lot of time. You know, building an organic audience takes a lot of time. And a lot of these brands that are just 100% reliant on Facebook ads, which is by the way, the most expensive way of acquiring customers in 2023, but at the same time, the most scalable for that matter, they were just impatient, right? To
Yeah.
create the foundations of the business.
Yeah.
And they are seeing the consequences whenever they are in maybe 10K per month, 20K per month, 50K per month.
Yeah. No, totally. And I've also seen businesses that are successful that hire ad agencies that don't think about this. They don't think about business fundamentals as a standard operating procedure. And They hire people who basically their business model is, let me get somebody to pay me a lot of money so I can destroy their business. I would say that's the vast majority of ad agencies.
Right.
And it's unfortunate. And I hope that people realize how easy Facebook is and how fun it can be, because you don't need an agency. I would say 40 to 50% of people that hire an agency don't need one. And investing in understanding that knowledge for yourself will save you your future, because whoever's running your ads should understand how your business works and how to be successful in business. And I would say 98% of Facebook media buyers aren't people that have successfully built and scaled businesses, and they don't know the ramifications of their actions. And to be fair, I think that's a lot of really successful ad agencies. And I try to call that out whenever I see it. But yeah, there's a lot of folks that look to metrics like ROAS to say how successful they are.
Right.
Instead of saying, when you work with us, your bank account improves. Because what we're doing is trying to amplify your successful business model, and we're working on you as a business success partner. And if the people you talk to talk in ROAS, or they're talking about doing a lot of testing, or they don't speak in money, odds are they're a liability to your bottom line, and hiring them will only accelerate the failure that you're probably going to see. And every day I get people that like have gone through that over and over again. And so I just try to, do things like this to try to provide an alternative to paying a lot of money to people that don't care about you so that they can destroy your business.
100%. And look, I cannot tell you how much I get into, calls with people, consulting calls, sales calls, whatever, with e-commerce brand founders that are just like, you can see it in their face. They're like, just like tired, and they think I'm going to be another guy that's going to tell them how I'm going to improve the ROAS, or how I'm going to, I don't know, improve the MER, whatever. And, I feel like it's also, yes, it's the agency's fault, of course, a lot of times. But at the same time, going back to the point, I feel like these people grew their business with Facebook ads, and Facebook ads is like the way, like the short way of growing, right? If you look at how Gymshark grew, it took like 5 years for them to start growing to, I don't know, 50K per, I don't know the numbers, but it took like a lot of time. And this, like, Ben Francis was going to all these in-person events to sell the products, and going to all these pop-up stores, and he was building the foundations, right? These people,
Mm-hmm.
these brands don't often build the foundations first. And I'm empathetic to these people as well. Like, building the foundation is so hard. Like, building an organic traffic channel is really hard. Building an audience for, maybe you're doing it for personal brand, that's super hard. Maybe you're building your email list, that's super hard. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, but at the same time, it's necessary, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't do the hard work, don't expect to get the good results.
Exactly. So
And I think this comes down to, if you're to wrap this all up, simply put, do the hard work or expect to fail.
100%. I want
Yeah.
to ask some rapid fire questions,
Okay.
and I want you to answer in a really short, I don't know, short answer. I'm going to ask you, what would you tell someone who is just starting out with e-commerce to grow to, maybe, I don't know, 10K per month, from 0 to 10K per month? What is your primary focus right now?
Understand your numbers, LTV, cost per acquisition, COGS, purchase cadence, figure out the product that people inspires the most secondary purchases, and prioritize the acquisition of that sale as efficiently and as high volume as you possibly can. Literally everything else is a complete distraction and will cost you the future of your business.
Short and sweet. So what about going, let's say I'm a business founder making 10K per month. I don't really know if next month I'm gonna be profitable or not, but I'm at least making 10K per month. I want to go to 100K per month, 50 to 100K per month. What will you tell me?
It's pretty much the same thing. Like, three things. Number one, also time block your time and understand all of the things that are happening in your business and how much they cost and how much money you make. Look at that at your time, look at that for your employees, and look at that for the things that you're spending money on promoting. Anywhere where that, like, look at the most profitable investments that are the easiest to scale and focus on those things. Purely improving your operations is easily the best way to get from 6 figures to 7. There are a lot of things to get from 7 to 8 and 8 to 9, but most people that are struggling to get to 6 or trying to get from 6 to 7, generally it's a misallocation of resources. And just fixing that can so dramatically improve your unit economics. And so, like, that is the number one most important thing. Where are you spending your money? Where are you spending your time? And anywhere that you can outsource for cheaper, where you can spend less money than revenue you make, do it. And anywhere where you're investing that's not the most profitable investment, stop. Figure that out, and success is a lot easier and more fun.
Okay, so yeah, it feels like you said that in this stage, there's a lot of tasks that are demanded, but one founder cannot do all of them. So
Right.
outsourcing might be the way out so that you can do and fulfill the tasks needed for you to go to the next level. Now, lastly, I want you to answer, what will you do? What do you tell someone who's at 100K, 100 to 500K, wanting to go to a million, or what you did with 100 outfit, $4 million?
Yeah. On a monthly revenue. Like, I think at that point, it's really begin to dig into what cash flow looks like for your business and understand your costs. If you can understand how money leaves your bank account and the easiest way for you to put money in it, write that down, understand what that is, and identify your biggest liabilities and your biggest assets, and invest more heavily in your best assets and remove your investment in your biggest liabilities. Like, it is not much more complicated than that. The execution of that might look dramatically different for everybody, but almost always what holds people back is they prioritize the things that aren't of the most value. And their definition of success isn't nearly as good. And they're asking the wrong questions, they're valuing the wrong metrics. So if you want to make more money, figure out where you make money and figure out where you spend it and just improve those unit economics. Like, I know that's a massively oversimplified statement, but to give the example of Under Outfit, there was, let's say, a dozen products we were promoting. One was the best. Okay, let's get rid of 10 or 11 of them. And now let's make sure that that thing gets better for us. Well, what do we need to do that? Well, we need better customer service. So we need better, whatever it is, email marketing, whatever it is, so that we can improve what that does for us. Okay. Now this is taking a lot of our time, so we can't work on the business. Can we find somebody that we can pay for less money than they'll make for us? Yes. Okay, let's do it. Are they the best? Who cares? It's profitable, and we can go back to spending our time on doing what works. And focusing on that, only fixing what's broken and taking your biggest challenge and making that thing you focus on fixing first, it's extremely difficult to not get better when you start analyzing your landscape like that.
Cool. Sweet. I want to ask you one last thing. Do we have
Okay.
time Or
Yeah, I've got a couple minutes. My wife just came in, so like I think I should probably go check out what it is. But let me do one more question and then I'll go in and check on her. She doesn't usually bother me, so I didn't get to see her face, but I think she probably has a question that needs to be answered. So let me do one more and then I'm gonna go take care of her.
okay, the last one, I just want to know, first of all, how did you get into e-commerce and digital marketing? And where are you going now after, like, what's the future for Charlie?
Yeah. The honest truth is I got into this because I think I was in a band and I was a radio personality and I was good at promoting myself. Eventually I got good enough promoting myself. People asked me to promote them. When I moved out to California, quit the radio business, I got a job at a social media ad agency. It's $10 an hour. And I knew that I could kind of do the work on my own. I got some of my own clients. My biggest client fired me because he put $100 into Facebook ads and did more for him than what I was charging $2,000 a month for. And so I licked my wounds. And then the next day I put my credit card into Facebook and started figuring that out. Within 3 months, I was running Jamba Juice. And within 6 months, I was running things for like Jay and Silent Bob and Robert Rodriguez. And within 9 months, I was a supervisor at Omnicom spending like $1 million a day. And that was, 2013, 2014. I think I got lucky at being at the right place at the right time. I also think that what worked well for me was that I focused on what I was doing by putting the bank account of the client first. And that made me a really bad employee at ad agencies. But being a bad employee, I also had the benefit of getting fired a lot. So I got to be the star new employee at a lot of places. So I got to work with the smartest person in a lot of rooms. And it's a path that I don't necessarily recommend for anybody, but ultimately the priority was put upon how can I provide the most amount of value to what is most important? And how do I do the most good for the least amount of work? And when I figured that out, and when I figured that that was the priority, things tended to move really quickly. And I think the biggest gift that I had was realizing when I was 5, 6 years in, it was like 2016, 2017, that 2018, that like I was a lot further than a lot of other people. So I made a point of teaching and sharing what I learned with as many other people as possible. And as a result, I have had every single day in my life for the last 6 or 7 years, somebody come in and challenge what I've said, present new ideas, and make me think critically about it. So the amount of reps that I have in creative problem solving and analytical thinking on fixing problems for business development, Facebook ads, like that is hours of every day for the better part of a decade. And I think that's an unfair advantage I have, but it was because I put myself in that position. I put myself out there and I was willing to learn. And the future is basically me just trying to pass that on to as many people as I can, because I want people to know that success is absolutely possible. I think the vast majority of people that tell folks how to be successful in digital marketing are dead wrong about basically everything they're talking about. I think the results speak for themselves. And if what I can do is help people create joy and opportunity with their daily life, then that is ultimately me producing more good. And if I can teach more people how to produce that for other individuals, then I'm ultimately doing what I started to do in the first place, which was create as much good as I can by doing the least amount of work and creating the most value, which is basically why I was a bad agency employee. And now, I run Disruptor School and I run Facebook Ads MBA program, and I have like a YouTube channel and or a lot of them and social media stuff. And like, every single day I go out there and try to do this kind of thing because it's super fun for me. It's what I would do if I didn't have a job. And I would say I've been unemployed for years now, and I'm doing okay. And because I basically just help other people provide opportunity for themselves and others. And that is a place of privilege and of luck, because I was in the right place at the right time. and I said the right things to the right people, and that is not lost on me. And I just try to find places where people are struggling and offer them an easier, simpler way to solve their problems so they can create more good. And I think that a lot of people see what I do as being disruptive or as being contrarian for being contrarian's sake, or ultimately causing harm. And what I will say is this: if me doing my job creates harm to your job, it's probably because your job is to create harm to others. And as long as I can feel confident in saying that, I'm a happy guy.